You're back with Arts and Entertainment. I'm Demetri Williams. Names like Apollo and Aphrodite might ring a bell when it comes to Greek mythology. However, one sorority has added a few new characters to the books. Reporter Crystal Booker explores how Tri Sigma crowned a new Greek god and goddess on campus.
The Greek God and Goddess pageant, organized by Tri Sigma, turned into a fun-filled event where contestants competed in order to be crowned the next Greek god or goddess. The show wowed the crowd, but for the organizers, the applause wasn't their favorite part.
I think my favorite part was really getting to know the contestants, reading their applications and reviewing everything, making sure everything was okay, just because you got to know them a little more, and then to actually see them perform on the, I guess, the stage area, it was really a treat.
Contestants participated in question and answer sessions.
Because I am awesome, right? Yeah.
A toga wearing competition, and a talent competition. For the Greek god's new title holder, last-minute creativity won him the crown.
I wasn't going to be able to do this because I had other obligations, but they canceled, so I was able to do this. So I had 7 hours to prepare for this. So I had to come up with a talent, find a token, all that stuff. So I only had 7 hours of preparation, but it paid off.
Even after the winners were announced and the crowd exited the auditorium, the winners were still left in shock.
It's amazing. I'm a little bit shaky right now. I can't really put it into full words, but it's an honor, and I feel so blessed to be selected.
These students proved it takes more than being Greek to become a god or goddess. I'm Crystal Booker, reporting for Winthrop Close Up.
Wow, seems like Tri Sigma really did put a twist on traditional pageantry. Hopefully we'll see a repeat on this event next year. From the divine to the royal, they're fierce and fabulous. Norie Young introduces us to queens who rule in a different way.
The popularity of shows like RuPaul's Drag Race has created a curiosity about drag and what role it plays in performance. Drag Woo is an event designed to entertain while educating on the subject. For many of the students, this was their first opportunity to see a drag show.
It was absolutely amazing. It changed my view on the whole global perspective. It changed my view on drag and transgendered, and so I really, really loved it. And I love that it was educational at first, and then it was like so much fun.
I think it did change a lot of minds, because at the beginning there were a lot of people who were unsure of how to respond, but by the end everybody was going wild.
And for returning members of the audience, the show has only improved.
I went last year, so it was nice to see some of the queens grow from year to year, especially Ava and Jeremy, the king. So it was cool to see them grow, and it was cool to see the new queens that came out. This is probably like half the people in the room's first drag show, and it's kind of cool to get the idea of drag out to new people.
When all was said and done, the one thing everyone here could agree on was that these queens brought the house down.
This record is over.
It looks like Drag Woo achieved its goal tonight, changing minds and perceptions. I'm Nora Young, reporting for Winthrop Close Up.
To find out more about eye-opening events like Drag Woo, visit the global website at www.global@winthrop.edu. In an equally fierce competition, dancers took to the stage. The art of dance is a free form of expression and is one of the many ways that different cultures come together. This past week, Winthrop got a look at how impactful dance can be. Reporter Donovan has more.
Tillman Hall was the place to be as students came out to So You Think You Can Dance, Winthrop's version of the popular reality TV series. This cultural event was put on by Dance in Motion and the Multicultural Student Council. Performances also included the Chinese Martial Arts Association and the Woo Spirit Squad and did their thing on stage.
An event like this we do about once a semester. In the fall, we collaborated with the Gentlemen's League on campus to host a talent show.
6 contestants did their thing on stage, and then the contestants whittled down to 3. When the dust settled, there was one left.
Well, the auditions were about 3 weeks ago, and after I found out that I made it through the auditions, I started working outside of my dance class.
I'm sorry. Well, as you can see, dancing is a very universal language, and this event proves that everyone marches to the beat of their own drum. With photographer Chelsea Vicari, I'm Donovan reporting from Winthrop Close Up.
Dance in Motion is a subcommittee of the Association of Ebonites. To find out more information, go to www.birdnest.org/AOE. This next story will have you dancing about fashion. Need new clothes but can't afford to spend a lot? Zoe Irizarry tells us how some students are popping tags.
Matt Comer's song Thrift Shop has reached the #2 spot on Billboard's Top 100 Songs. The song talks about thrift shopping and crazy high clothing prices. One Winthrop student can relate.
I don't know, I just started finding it ridiculous to spend a lot of money on clothes when I could find things just as good for like $4. Like this was $5.
With such low prices, finding great deals isn't hard.
The best thing I found has been blazers for $1.
One thing to keep in mind is that thrifting is not regular shopping.
Most times when you're thrifting, it takes time to kind of like go from front to back on the racks and actually look at them. Like for instance, when I kind of went on this rack, first thing that kind of caught my mind was this dress. Thrifting is a state of mind. You have to know how to do it.
You can just find a lot of really cool stuff.
And like most avid shoppers, these thrifters have their favorite shops.
Schoolhouse is my favorite one. It's close, and I found a lot of stuff here.
Goodwill is definitely my #1.
If you're thinking about giving thrifting a try, Bradley has a few words of advice.
Just be patient. Remember that another man's trash is another man's treasure, and enjoy it because it's cheap shopping.
With places like Schoolhouse Exchange and Goodwill just minutes from campus, you can get a new wardrobe without killing your wallet or your gas tank. This is Zoe Irizarry reporting for Winthrop Close Up.
Spring right around the corner, thrift shopping could be a great way to spruce up your wardrobe for the warmer weather. That's all for arts and entertainment this week.
And that's where babies come from. Any more questions?
That's it for our news segment of the show. Now it's time for world news from our CNN feed. Malaysian security forces began attacking a group of armed men from the Philippines on a remote part of the island of Borneo, authorities said. The group of Filipino men, believed to number between 100 and 300, arrived 3 weeks ago on Borneo. The standoff has touched on an unresolved territorial question between the Philippines and Malaysia, as well as Manila's efforts to improve relations with Islamic insurgents in the country's south after decades of violence.
Newly released surveillance video may shed some light on what led up to a shooting of a U.S. soldier in South Korea. A government-affiliated South Korean news agency says the soldier was shot in the shoulder after refusing to stop for South Korean police. Officers have responded to reports of American soldiers threatening people with an air rifle. But they say when they showed up, a 23-year-old U.S. Army sergeant and his wife fled the scene, hitting cars and bystanders along the way. South Korean police chased and fired shots at the vehicle, hitting and injuring the U.S. soldier. The U.S. Criminal Investigation Command is helping the Korean National Police with the investigation.
The National People's Congress, NPC, has opened in Beijing. The NPC will complete China's once-in-a-decade leadership transition as Xi Jinping formally assumes the title of state president this week. Xi will succeed the outgoing Hu Jintao. Delegates from around the country are in Beijing this week for the event, which is expected to shed light on the future direction of China.
You've probably heard the phrase, there's an app. Well, there is now a lot of apps, and sales of apps are expected to hit $25 billion this year. The research group Gartner Incorporated says mobile phone app revenue will climb 62% worldwide this year over 2012. Apple and Google have more than 700,000 apps in their online stores.
Well, that's it for this week's Winthrop Close Up.
If you have any suggestions or story ideas, shoot them over at the email listed below.
And stay in touch by following us on Twitter and Winthrop Close Up. See you soon.